Everybody gets married, is what I would tell you all if this were an unrealistic predictions video. But let's be real, we still have Jimmy and Chelsea together in the show by this point, so not everyone's getting married, but I'm going to tell you who I think says yes and who I think walks away at the altar. So let's get started. What's going on, you guys? James here with another real video on Love is Blind Season 6. I know, the weddings episode has yet to arrive. The finale's almost here, and you can catch my recap this week when it drops Wednesday morning. You're not going to want to miss out, so yeah, go ahead and get subscribed. But today we're talking all about my thoughts on the weddings. At the point of recording this video at this time, I have not watched episode 12, but I'm going to, thanks Netflix, and I cannot wait to dive into it. But before then, again, we still got some couples left on the board. And do I think all of them get married? No. But do I think some get married? Yes. And of course, y'all gotta let me know down below in the comments which couples you think make it and which don't, because I have a lot of thoughts, but I want to hear yours as well. So let's begin with where we left off in week 3 with our couples, and they were having final dates. So let's begin with AD and Clay. Clay sets up a cute date in episode 11 for AD and gives her a bouquet of what? I don't know. I really don't. If you guys know, please let me know in the comments, but she's enthralled. She's over the moon. She's so excited that Clay's setting up a cute date for her. But girl, did he even see the date you set up for him? That's the question. Well, again, I'm still thinking that they're probably, well, let me not get ahead of myself. I was about to tell you my predictions. Let's move on to Amy and Johnny, and they're glamping. This is the couple that is like the #1 couple, probably my favorite couple. Actually, it is my favorite couple left in Love is Blind Season 6. They're going out there roasting some s'mores and probably talking about just chilling. We're gonna get married, right, honey? Like, we're gonna say I do. No one's stopping us. And then there's Chelsea and Jimmy, who went to a second-rate Disney World, I think? I don't know. Maybe more like an Islands of Adventure. And they closed down the entire theme park. They're having a blast. And then they have a dinner at the end where Chelsea leaves us on a cliffhanger when asked by Jimmy what her answer was gonna be at the altar. Seriously, not great, Chelsea. Not great. Like, Jimmy's asking you what you're gonna say and you don't know? I mean, he's telling all his buds, he's telling everyone in the world, I love her, she's 100% my person. Jimmy, everything you do tells us otherwise, but I digress. Alrighty, so now that the foundation is set, we have 3 couples left. Let's get into my wedding predictions because, I don't know, y'all. I'm feeling hot about some of these, like I'm feeling good, and I'm feeling kind of cold about some of these predictions as well, but I'm going to look to you for some moral support. Alrighty, so we're going to begin with what I think is the very first ceremony with Amy and Johnny. Listen, Love is Blind, they're messy. We know it. The producers are messy. But they're going to at least kick off the weddings episode on a high note, and it's going to be Amy and Johnny, the safest bet, because you got to save the drama for the end, right? So Amy and Johnny, they'll do their whole montage. It's going to be cute. Amy's dad's going to cry. Amy's mom's going to cry, and everyone's going to be happy because Amy's going to say, I do, and so is Johnny. Like, if you think otherwise, I just want to know which Love is Blind season you've been watching, because it ain't this season 6. They look so sure and ready. And yeah, I mean, okay, you're probably wondering, well, is there a scenario where they say no? I think the only person who could say no would be Johnny at the altar because of the whole birth control thing that the producers have been playing up. But I doubt it, guys. I highly doubt that they say no. They're going to say yes. They're going to go in Love is Blind history as probably the longest couple to, be wed. I mean, we still got some good ones in the Hall of Fame, but I think they're going to join them. They just look so ready to be together for the long run. And then the second ceremony of the day is going to be AD and Clay. Now, like I said, these are my predictions. So if I'm horribly wrong, I will eat the crow on that and be just as surprised as you guys. But what I think is going to happen is this is going to be a dramatic wedding ceremony, but it won't be as dramatic as the last one, which is, of course, if you're keeping track, going to be Jimmy and Chelsea. But with AD and Clay, I believe we're going to see AD get the very cutesy edit and Clay get the timid, like, man, I'm with my boys, I feel good, but something's still holding me back, man. And I don't want to let her down. He's going to get in his head again, and he's probably going to stay there. But we're going to be surprised as viewers, guys, because I think Clay's going to say yes at the altar, And he's gonna think I'm ready for marriage. Here we go. Girl, of course. All day, okay. Like, he's gonna probably say these crazy things and his vows are gonna make us laugh and cringe. But when it comes to AD, I think AD is gonna be the one to say no at the altar. Listen, we are rooting for AD to hopefully make a smart decision. I'm not saying no is the right decision. She loves him and she says yes, all right. However, AD, I think, is seeing the red flags off from the distance. And she's like, listen, if he continues to talk about how he doesn't want to cheat on me, does that mean he possibly could? Is there something in his past I don't know about? He's very insecure. He might be immature, I don't know, and he doesn't manage his time well now to be with me, so why would I say yes to this forever? And I think she's gonna say no. And of course, it won't be a straight up no, you know, she'll probably take her time, there'll be a dramatic pause, the music will crescendo, she'll say no, and then Clay said he will never cry again, but he probably will cry in this moment. Yeah, that's sad. But you know what's more sad? The fact that Jimmy couldn't muster up the strength to leave Chelsea last week. But here we are. They're on the way to their wedding ceremony, and they're going to be the final ceremony of the episode. It'll be Jimmy and Chelsea, and guys, it's going to be dramatic. Almost as dramatic as this weather is right now in South Florida. The camera, in my opinion, is guaranteed to focus on Jimmy's two girlfriends in the crowd as well. Listen, if that's on your bingo card, we're going to check that box off because it will be awkward indeed. And the second guarantee, if this is also on your bingo card, feel free to get your chip ready because we know what's going to happen. Chelsea is guaranteed to say, I'm going to throw up at least once or twice during this episode. We've heard it already. What's to stop it from happening now?
I feel like I'm going to throw up. I think I said that yesterday. I'm literally about to throw up. It's been a constant feeling.
Someone get her a bejeweled barf bag. Alrighty, so I think the next thing that's going to happen is Jimmy's going to continue to say Chelsea says person during the montage sequences, but it'll be Chelsea who will say, I'm unsure of my answer at the altar. They're really playing that angle up, so I'd be very shocked if there's not a tie-in during episode 12. Then, when we get to the altar, it's going to be cutesy. Everyone's in the audience, they're going to be crying. And then Chelsea's going to say yes, because I still think she's scared of not being wanted by Jimmy, even though she's the one pushing him to his limit. And honestly, at this point, if Jimmy had left her already, who would have blamed her? I blame him, not me. And then it'll be Jimmy who takes his dramatic pause, looks at her, and says, I know I've said you're my person, but I can't do it. Because Jessica's in the crowd. No kidding. However, Jessica could be in the crowd. Okay, totally joking. There's no way Jessica's at this wedding ceremony. She's probably got something else to do. And then they'll have a conversation after the altar. Chelsea's gonna run away, crying and everything. Jimmy's gonna track her down, and they'll have that conversation that we're used to seeing in Love is Blind history, where the person who said no tries to justify maybe trying to make it work afterwards. But I think Jimmy's not even going to try for that. Jimmy's just going to explain to Chelsea, I still can't get over the argument that we had, and I said I'm not willing to marry you, but then you convinced me, and then you asked me to make you cookies. How could you? On a serious note, though, I think that argument might have been the mental tipping point in his mind. So yeah, I just don't see Jimmy saying yes at the altar, guys. And here's a very dark horse prediction. I think we'll see a weeks later edit where Jimmy and Jessica will meet up with one another, and then we'll be left hanging until the reunion episode, which of course we're covering right here on the channel. I know it goes live March 13th at 9 p.m. Eastern, but I'm gonna be here giving you our recap. I'm staying up late alongside each and every one of you. So guys, there we have it. That's my predictions. If you skip to the end of this video, why? But if you did, I'll recap my predictions now. We got AD and Clay. Clay will say yes, and I think AD will say no. And then you have Amy and Johnny. Amy will say yes, and Johnny will say yes. If you think otherwise, what do you know that we don't? And then there's Jimmy and Chelsea, where, yeah, Chelsea will say yes, and Jimmy will say no, going back to the smokehouse. Honestly, though, they eat that food, guys. But y'all, there you got all my reactions. it's there. I can't wait to hear yours. And honestly, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It'll make that episode much more entertaining, but I'm gonna go and get started on watching that so I can come with a recap Wednesday morning. Again, get subscribed so you don't miss out on that recap for each and every one of you to watch. We'll laugh together. We'll cry together. No, we won't cry, but we'll laugh together a lot on Wednesday. Alrighty, y'all. Well, again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next screening. Seriously, it's raining quite a bit. I don't know what's going on outside.